Hello everyone, this is David from Automotive Press. So here we are, finally we get to drive the VinFast Vf8. It's a long time coming, we've been waiting for today. So we're very excited to take this out and see how it compares with its competitors, because this market is very fierce and not very forgiving. So the car has to be top notch in order to do really well in this marketplace. So let's take it for a drive and see how it performs on the road. And let me give you my insight as an automotive engineer. Okay, so I'm finally taking the Vf8 for a drive here, and right off the bat my initial impression is that it feels very European. I drove the BMW iX very recently and it kind of feels like that. A very predictable steering feel, very balanced. It feels agile to me, and what I like the best is that it just feels very natural. It doesn't have any kind of a strange feel in terms of steering or the braking or the way that accelerator works. So everything feels smooth and natural. I'm liking it so far. I do like the fact that the steering has a pretty good feedback compared to other EVs I've driven, because some EVs do not have enough steering effort or steering feel. So I'm gonna step on the gas a little bit now to see how it accelerates. Okay, so this is the base model, but it accelerates very smooth and comfortable, predictable. Everything you expect in a premium luxury EV. The highway feel is amazing actually. The ride is really good. Better than a lot of the other EVs I've driven where the ride just isn't there. They're a little bit too rough or not smooth enough. But this one feels extremely comfortable, very quiet. For a pre-production model, it's amazingly well designed. Once again, I can't stress enough that the steering effort is just right. It's got a good heft and feels smooth. Let's go again to a little bit highway speed to 120. Very smooth and quiet, even at highway speed. Remarkable suspension calibration design. It feels very agile and it's not losing its composure at all, even at higher speed. Let me do a quick steering check here. Just go left and right. That's pretty quick. A lot of cars have a very slow response when you move steering left to the right, but this one is very agile and quick to move around when I move the steering. So the cornering is very good. Suspension calibration, once again, I can't stress enough that it's much better than expected. And in some of the EVs I've driven recently, like the Mustang Mach-E, the suspension is not very good on that car. It's very bumpy and not controllable. But this one feels absolutely premium, which is what they're trying to get to. Whoever engineered and designed the suspension, the steering effort, the whole thing, obviously knows what they're doing, because the engineering is absolutely perfect in this vehicle, especially for a pre-production model. So let me try a little bit of cornering here. Very quick cornering, very flat. Once again, more like European models in terms of feel. Closer to a Porsche Macan feel than, let's say, a BMW feel. Now, Porsche Macan doesn't have an EV yet, but in terms of the feel, this is actually kind of mimicking that steering effort and the steering feel. The regen braking feels pretty natural and comfortable, so that's also very good. For a pre-production model, this thing is absolutely smooth and quiet, feels refined. I don't hear any hint of squeaks or rattles. Absolutely solid. So obviously they're doing something right, and as the production model reaches its target, it's going to get better. So I can't wait to drive the actual production model later this year. But for now, I'm pretty satisfied as an engineer who's driven thousands of cars that this one is absolutely top notch. Now switching between eco mode, normal mode, and the sport mode gives you a little bit of a difference in terms of the overall car feel, but not that much. So let's say between normal and sport mode, there's just a slight increase in steering effort and a slight change in the way that the car behaves, but not as much as you think. So perhaps that's something that they can work on, because I would like to see a larger difference in feel between different modes. So overall, I'm pretty impressed with this whole package. VinFast, even though it's the very first model to introduce the market, have done a remarkable job or creating something that is top-notch in terms of driving feel, especially the steering effort. And other manufacturers really have to watch out for this brand because it's delivering something that it promised, which is a world-class car with a world-class performance. Now this is the base Eco model, so it's maybe not as fast in terms of 0 to 60, but I look forward to driving the Plus model as well, which will have increased power and range. So I am now in the Plus version of the Vf8, and I'm going to do a quick acceleration test to see if it's faster than the Vf8 I drove earlier, which was a base model. So let's do a quick 0 to 60 time here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's about just over 8 seconds, 8.25 seconds to be exact, for 0 to 100, or approximately 0 to 60 miles per hour. A little bit slower than I expected, but once again, I was told by the engineers they're calibrating all kinds of stuff to do with the powertrain, so I expect this number to improve quite dramatically later on. Okay, so I'm going to run the test one more time because I think the first one is a little bit off. It's supposed to be 5.5 seconds approximately from 0 to 60. Let's test it out again. 1, 2, 3. So this time it came out to 7.9 seconds, or just under 8 seconds. So a little bit faster than last time. I don't know, maybe with the right condition, it could hit 7.5 seconds, and perhaps through calibration and tuning later on, it should be no more than 7 seconds, because according to them, it's supposed to be 5.5 seconds approximately to 0 to 60. And so perhaps this one, it just needs more calibration and some engineering work to get to that point. So it's promising though. It's very smooth regardless, and when you step on the accelerator, it takes off with lots of energy and passion, so no issue with that. So they just have to work on the acceleration now. That's really the main thing that needs to be worked on. So hopefully that will be sorted out over the next few months before the actual launch. So once again, this is a Plus model with a 20-inch wheels and tire combination, so it's definitely firmer, and I like it better than the 19-inch tires and wheel combination that was on the Eco model. Everything else feels pretty similar. Obviously faster acceleration, a bit of a firmer ride, and a bit more controlled suspension setup. Otherwise, the two models feels pretty well identical, so it's really up to you as a buyer whether you need the extra power and the range before deciding which model to buy. So even though we had a short time with the VinFast Vf8, I came away pretty impressed with the overall feel in terms of agility, in terms of predictable handling and a balance, something that is difficult to achieve these days. I find too many electric cars have bouncing suspension or rough suspension. This one doesn't. And some electric cars doesn't have a very good steering effort or steering feel because they're just too light on the road. But this one has a little bit better steering effort and steering feel than other electric cars I've driven. And in fact, I think it's more fun to drive than many of its competitors, such as the BMW iX I've driven recently, or even the Ford Mustang Mach-E. This one has a more predictable feel, a more balanced ride and handling, something that is hard to achieve these days. So my hat's off to VinFast for designing something that seems to be better than most EVs out there. Of course, the final judgment has to wait until we get to drive this for a longer period of time, but so far so good. It's surprisingly agile and fun to drive, and everything that they're promising seems to be happening with the VinFast Vf8. I can't wait to drive the Vf9 as well at some point down the road, but for now I'm satisfied that this car is moving in the right direction, in the right path, and a lot of buyers are going to be very happy with the way this car feels. So that's all I have now, folks. If you can give me a thumbs up, make some comments, and subscribe, that would truly appreciate it. More things to come your way, but until next time, I'm signing off for now. Thank you so much.